Tonight is Entrepreneur Night. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about everything, the process, the stress, the pain, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So what I want you guys to do, we got all our guests in the building.
They gave us another sofa.
They did. Because they knew we was going to have a lot of people up in here.
Yeah, say less.
So just, if you don't know, we are streaming live. So if you have a phone call or anything else, please go outside and take that phone call. We are streaming live for those who are at home. So they are tuning in too. So, y'all, we gonna start with our first guest. I gotta get to my list, child, because I don't wanna mess up nothing. So, our first guest, he has his own. I mean, where do I start, child?
Oh, tighten up now, Teddy. Tighten up.
Tighten up. I got to get it together. Now. Don't be putting me on the spot.
It's Tuesday, dude.
I know what today is. You know what I mean?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Rambo, who's one of the best comedians in the city right here.
Appreciate it.
So,
book me.
For sure. Our first guest, he owns a beverage company that has worked with Travis Scott.
Sheesh.
Sauce Walker.
Sheesh.
Let me see who else.
What's
Lil
his name?
Flip.
Yeah, sure did.
He talking about sure did. Lil Flip.
Goddamn.
Big Mo.
Big Mo. Joel Osteen.
Joe Osteen.
Yeah.
Joel Osteen got a drink.
Mattress Mac. Everybody.
Sylvester Turner.
Sylvester Turner, yeah. I don't know.
I'm just joking. Y'all make some noise for our first guest, Mr. Charleston from Exotic Park. All right, our next guest.
Yo.
Yeah. Our next guest, he's light-skinned, so don't let his looks fool you. He's one of us. He serves us. He's with us tonight. Y'all make some noise for Mike Mills.
Mike Mills. He a little bit more than light-skinned, Teddy.
He real light-skinned.
Yeah, he
Exotic
real
Pop
light-skinned.
Mike, Cool Cup Juice, Mystery Flavor.
What's up, big guy?
Now, I'm going to let him introduce himself because I don't want to mess up his name on his Instagram because he'll sit right here for me. Light skin, you make me look good if you sit right there. You make me look good. You make me look good. I told you he was a brother.
Yeah, he in there.
Up next, he is an entertainment lawyer. So I know it's a lot of artists in here. You got to have your business right. But I'm gonna let him say his name because I don't want to mess it up. But y'all make some noise for our guest entertainment lawyer real quick. Y'all show him some love.
CLP. My boy Props. What's up, boy, nephew? What's up, nephew? Boy, it's here, man. Yeah, goddamn, nephew. Man, we were supposed to go fishing, man.
He is going fishing, and they got him. Let me see. Let me get you on the end over there. Right here, yeah, by this brother. You see how brother's handshake, all hard and stuff. Up next, she is a partner and sponsor of the show. Her nickname is the Shine Coach. Her job is to give motivation and help the dedication of the goal. Y'all make some noise for Dr.Robin Turner.
Yeah! Woo! Oh, she knew she was getting on stage tonight. Yeah.
You already know she know how to walk in heels, don't you? Come on and sit.
Let me help you sit down.
Sit right here in the middle. Yeah. All right. Okay, we about to get this thing started. So please put your phones on silent. It's about to get real crucial up in here. We about to talk about it. So first things first, I got your microphones. I want you guys to kind of introduce yourselves and exactly what you do so everybody can kind of know your credentials and what you got. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you can start right at the end. Oh, you can use that microphone right there.
What's up, y'all? My name is Jeremy Sims.
I got you.
Oh, you got me? Appreciate you, Teddy. So my IG is Professor Pete, ESQ. I'm an entertainment attorney, business attorney, and I also do estate planning. Happy to be here. Shout out, Teddy. dopest podcast going on in the city and the nation.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Boy, Rambo.
Mike, my brother, tell him who you is.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody feeling tonight? My name is Mike Mills. I'm the owner of a shop called The Closet.
Yeah.
Located at the world famous Johnny Dang & Co. We just had our 3-year anniversary.
Woo.
Made a shout out to Devin Haney. Made a shout out to Polo G. Everybody that pulled up. Teddy Tuesday pulled up.
Yeah.
Hey, so you know we doing this for the city. I told her I gotta hop on this one. You're doing something that's one of a kind, something that hadn't been done yet. And shout out to everybody that pulled up tonight. Let's go.
No, for sure. And of course, Dr. Turner, let him know.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Turner, known as the Shine Coach. I bring a little light to everybody, but I've done a lot of things. I work in the pharmacy industry, wellness, you name it, but I like to motivate and encourage people. So whatever you need or encouragement, you can look at the Shine Coach. That's who I am. This is who did that for me. From October, I was promoting my daughter, and she said, you know what, we're gonna invite you on, and they're like, what do you do? And I told them, she's like, oh my God. So I like to bring a lot of love and support, because we're going places, and if you wanna be a part of this here, just listen today, and we need your support, okay?
Yeah.
And of course, the big dog was good.
Hey, it's going down, you know what I'm saying? I'm Charleston Wilson, the founder of Exotic Pop, and I guarantee you I'm gonna give it to y'all real. A lot of people come out here and want to tell y'all some BS, but I'm gonna tell you what it really takes to be successful out here, you know what I'm saying? So let's get to it.
Okay. Real quick, Imani switch over here. Where is he at? We also, one of our other guests come on, Imani. One of our other guests just made it in. I don't know where he's at. Real Tune, he's up in the building. He's a media
Real Tune
outlet.
TV in the building.
You know, black people come when they want to, but that's all right. That's all right. He got his high park on. I see you. Okay, we good? Okay.
Amen.
All right, so we all up on here. So, Rambo, Monty, who want to go first? Because, you know, I got some questions too.
Is y'all hiring? Is y'all hiring?
Not you.
Not at the moment. Not at the moment.
Damn.
Hey, but the season's coming around, and I'm gonna say right now we're working on location number 2. When I let y'all know where it's gonna be at, yes, we'll be hiring. So.
Can I work security? I think I got it.
No, that's something that we could use you for. Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah, no. Hey, we'll link up for sure.
Appreciate it.
I'm gonna start with Charleston right here because he has a beverage drink. First of all, what made you go into that field? That particular field right there. I know you probably saw a glitch or a need, but what made you go into beverages? And I know you have snacks and cereal too as well, but.
I mean, but check this out. Who know how to make Kool-Aid better than black people? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
you gotta understand that
Timmy Chan.
the beverage industry has been controlled by a small number of people for dozens, hundreds of years, you know what I'm saying? And every gas station you go to, every convenience store you go to, you see the same thing, the same flavors, the same, I don't care where you go in the country. So, you know, you gotta be able to see opportunity. Can't nobody make no Kool-Aid better than us. So I had to go ahead and break that dough down, close that deal with Pepsi and get to it, you know what I'm saying? So we went from the trunk of my car to now making millions of dollars a year, but most importantly, we putting that back in the community. So, you know, let's ride.
How many years has Exotic Pop been around?
We on year number 7 right now. We started in 2016. We 7 years in the games, you know, rack for rack, stack for stack, you know what I'm saying? Put money right back in the company. A big thing that you gotta do, you know, a lot of times starting off, a bank not gonna give you no loan, your homeboy not gonna give you no loan, you gotta have that history, them tax return history and stuff like that. So a lot of times you gotta have that discipline and put that money right back in the game. You know what I'm saying? You may have the money to go buy that Benz, but you say, you know what? I need to put that back in the brand. So, you know, I always keep that first.
So I got another question, and this is important because I'm gonna ask each and every one of you this same question. Because you know, on Instagram, entrepreneurship looks so grand, it looks so good, everybody making money, everybody on. That can't be right. That can't be right, because I know I done lost a couple of days of sleep. What is something that you want to share with something that happens in the dark that people don't see as far as entrepreneurship?
Man, what you don't see is them sleepless nights, you know what I'm saying? Sleeping in the car. You know what I'm talking about? Having your daughter at the thing, you know what I'm saying? Cause you ain't gonna about to drop no bread on no somebody watching your kid. You gonna bring them to the Teddy Tuesday. They don't see that, you know what I'm saying? They don't see it when you sweat. I've been sweating all day. You know what I'm saying? You see my boy Lynn at Turkey Hut sweating all day. My boy Mike Mills, you know what I'm saying, upstairs sweating, getting it done. Boys don't see the sweat. You know what I'm saying? You gotta see that part. You gotta be willing to do that. I don't care how much money you got or how powerful you are. You gotta be willing to do what people ain't willing to do, cause that's what it takes.
For real. What was y'all doing before y'all got into business? Before y'all came entrepreneurs? What was that life like?
I was working like, I worked like 2 jobs. Then I finally got a good job. I was a accountant before I went to law school though, but it was, yeah, like you gotta kind of get it, working 2 jobs and just grinding kind of get you ready for entrepreneurship. Just being willing to do whatever it takes to go get what's on the table, man.
Working a job was the worst experience of my life. Yeah, it was like the worst experience of my life. Like you have to wake up when they tell you to wake up, come in when they tell you to come in, feel bad if you do bad, you know what I'm saying? Get chastised. You putting in all this hours and all this equity into somebody else's company or business, and like if you get sick, you get hurt, they don't give a fuck, they gonna keep going. You know what I'm saying? Half the time if the company shut down, they still gonna be going without you. Might not even tell you that they shut down. It was the worst experience of my life.
What about you, Mike? What were you doing before you had a clothing store?
So before I had a clothing store, I was actually selling, I had a pretty cool industry. I was selling motorcycles and then I sold cars.
I bet you was selling the hell out the motorcycles.
Oh man, you always, top sales guy, it was something, I've been in sales going on and off 20 years, but see, that's like the glitz and glory phase of the life, because then before that, I had to go, I got locked up in not just county. I went to prison, something that coming from my upbringing, you don't really tell that story to other people, I was gone 15 months in TDC. I came out with nothing except just a car that luckily before I went and I paid off. It wasn't nothing fancy, it was just like an older Mustang, but then I had to get into the, into that mode. And I had a lot of doors that closed on me because it didn't even matter the color of my skin because my background said otherwise. The background said, I don't know about this guy. So then, it was so fresh, I was just like, what am I gonna do? And luckily, I come from a really crazy upbringing. I'm the grandson of Holocaust survivors.
Okay.
I love my mom and the upbringing that I got from my father as well. And it just evolved, and then luckily we made this thing happen,
Well, what was the question again?
What were you doing before right now?
Well, I've done a little bit of everything. Actually, I am a pharmacist, and I graduated from Texas Southern University. So when I started working in all the pharmacies, you name it, I've worked in every place. I've worked 2 to 3 jobs at one time, sleeping in my car, trying to get to a different store, because I knew eventually, like you said, you don't want to work for everybody. They take your ideas, and then especially being a black female in the industry, in the corporate industry, they don't treat you like you should. And I've had a lot of instances where they're like, oh my God, we're gonna keep you here at this level. It's like, well, I'm not gonna train a new person to come in and work over me, and they're gonna be my supervisor. And I said, you know what, it's time for me to start doing my thing. So, you always have to have a foundation. So, and I've always worked, but I've always knew I was gonna do my business. I've always set something aside. So you have to make sure you're always doing something, getting those streams of income coming. But you have a foundation. And I set the foundation here, and I started building my businesses. So that's what I did. I've always been an entrepreneur. You talk about Kool-Aid. I was the Cool Cup queen.
Yeah.
I was
Cool
really,
lady.
yeah. So I was doing that at 8 years
Hold
old.
on, Mama
out
Mo
of
was
my
the Cool Cup
garage,
queen.
so-
Don't get it twisted. Mama Mo was the Cool Cup queen. So
Oh, really?
I can't let this get out and now
No,
I
no,
interrupt
no,
you
no.
like that.
But that's how I started in my garage with my father. So you know what? If it's in you, you're gonna go through whatever you need to go through, because you can't get rid of that passion. And one thing I can say, once you have the passion, it's not even the passion, it's the position. When you see yourself in that position, that passion is gonna push you in there. So you can do it all good, but if you don't have that position, that mindset, you can't do it. And you have to also know you got to keep starting over. If plan A, plan B, plan C, it'll work. Just keep on doing it, you know? So, and I've done a lot. So I've done it from A to Z, and I have a long list, but I've done it all.
So real quick, again, we need everybody to be quiet because I know it's some people that's trying to listen, that's trying to learn. It's very important. One of the top 5 rules, if you want to be successful, you have to learn and listen. Because no one knows everything. No one is doing every single thing at a high level. You know what I'm saying? So tonight is about you guys and giving you the information. Information changes situations. The more you know, the better that you can do. And I will tell you this, Black people are the fastest growing small businesses, but we're the first to be out of business. I'll say this again, if anybody didn't hear me in the back. We're the fastest growing entrepreneurs, but we're the first ones to be out of business. And you know why? It starts right here. This is the time to listen from different people to know what to do and how to do. I'm that type of host. I'll go out there in the crowd and sit with you if I feel like you talking. You know what I'm saying? So I ask again, everybody, they took time out to be here. Can you please keep your talking? If you need to talk, please exit, go outside, and we sure do appreciate it. So the next question, real quick, that I have, real quick, the microphones. So the next thing is, I'm gonna start over here. Do we have any artists? Where my artists? Anybody in entertainment business? So right here, your entertainment lawyer. What's the first thing they need to have if they're an artist or whatever, musician or anything in entertainment business? What's the first thing they need to have?
Okay, if you're an independent artist, I recommend you start an LLC. I work with small businesses just like entertainers. I would treat y'all the same. You're a business. You're not signed to anybody, so you want to make sure that you treat yourself as a business, LLC. But then also, I would want you to make sure that your music is protected. Where did you get those beats from? Do you have paperwork? Because if the label comes sign you, or you get a distribution deal, whatever you get, a publishing deal, they're gonna want to know what's up with the music that you have. Is it yours? Who else is on it? So I would recommend just making sure you have your business in order. If not, it's just gonna bite you in the butt in the long run. And so just treat yourself like a business, a small business. That's what I would tell you. And get all paperwork in order.
And you got your information, so if you need to holler at him after the interview to see the basics, yeah, he can holler at you, right?
Oh, yeah. Get with me. That's what I'm here for, man.
He got a fresh edge up on the side. I see how crispy it is. I like that. I'm gonna go over here with you too. We got a couple clothing lines back over here and designers and all that.
Yep.
What is some advice that you can say from your buyers that they like to buy? You being, an owner of a clothing store.
Absolutely.
What are some things that you want to share with them?
I'll tell you first and foremost, the number one word that I'm gonna use is consistency. So that is like when people want to get and start a clothing brand or hop on social media. I mean, nowadays you gotta say what he said. You gotta treat everything like a business. With starting a clothing brand, it's something as simple as what's gonna be my mission. What's the mission behind this, and then that I feel like will evolve into the designs and then seeing what the market wants. Now we're in an economy where consumer spending is a lot different than it was 2020, 2021. So the times are like dropping $200-300 shirts, $200-300 joggers. You got to be conscientious, towards the buyer, and you got brands like Shein and these other brands that just got like a market hold on clothing. People are like, man, I can go over here and get the same looking joggers or whatever, a girl fit for $10, shipped to my doorstep. So aside from consistency, you got to build value, and I feel like value also comes in with the steps. Once you got your mission, once you got your rollout, once you start being consistent, then you can start really seeing your market value out here. There's a million people that want to do clothing brands, respectfully. Even the ones that, I have the people that come see me at the shop. They want to put their brand in my shop. We're talking next to Supreme, Gallery Department, Chrome Hearts, some of those brands from the 90s, millions behind them, have stores in LA, Malibu, New York. You want to compete with them. Now, you don't have to go on that level. Eventually, that's the dream, to make it to that level. It all starts somewhere. Even Chrome Hearts, that guy was working on leather jackets for a movie set. And then the movie set was codenamed Chrome Hearts. So when he left the movie set, he was like, all right, no one trademarked this name. That's gonna be the name of my clothing brand. I'm gonna do biker jackets. And a lot of people don't know the show Full House. Jesse was one of the OGs that wore Chrome Hearts. He would always wear, you know, the Chrome Hearts leather vest. Nowadays, you have one of those, it's probably worth $15,000, $20,000. That's the value, you know? And so I'm gonna say this, it's a very cutthroat game in the clothing world. You know, I mean, even in what I do with resale, you know, you have big stores out here, you know, even ones that I'm competing against. But I feel like the consistency, I bring the value, and just like my brother Charleston does, you know, we give back to the community. And I love my brother too, to be sharing the stage with him. You know, I gotta give him his flowers. I mean, he has done something that's transformative for Houston culture. You know, hey, let me tell you this, my 3-year anniversary was on Saturday at Johnny Dang's. Who you think created my own drink and sent 2 cases to my shop? Charleston. Yeah. I mean, hey, I'm gonna say this, Charleston, you didn't get to say it, so I'm gonna say it. What's better than having a blue check? Having your own drink, respectfully.
So I have a quick one for all of y'all. Y'all have 10 seconds and you have to answer, what was the biggest sacrifice that you have made to get you to this point? And what was the biggest mistake that you made to get to this point? We can start over here.
The biggest mistake I made?
Biggest mistake and biggest sacrifice.
I think I think it was scary when I quit my job. You know what I'm saying? I had a good job. You know, I had graduated college. I had a felony too, so it was hard for me to get a job where I was from, so I had to go to a whole nother city to find a job, and then I got a good job. I was making like 50, 60,000. You know, teachers, I think that's the entry level salary, like 50, 60. And so, but I mean, I made my first like YouTube check and it was double that. And so I just quit, you know what I'm saying? And it was the best decision I made. But then I had to quit selling weed. I know that's like neither here nor there, right? But as an educator, I'm selling weed. I'm a bus boy too at Cheddar's, right? And I had to quit. And when I quit, I was so focused on, at that point, I needed to make a certain amount for promo. I started to set goals for myself. Then I started to get mentors in the game and people who, you know, was pouring into me that was doing what I was doing before I was doing it, right? Like, I talked to this guy, he's from Dallas, his name Raheem Ballantyne. He was like, man, when Sean Conn started, bro, man, he was like, how can I make $4,000 a day? And if I get 10 posts at $400, that's $4,000. And so I think the biggest sacrifice was quitting my job, and the goal setting was the best thing I could have done. When I started setting goals, I started hitting them. Then I started setting higher goals, and then I started getting expectations for myself. Yeah.
The second question was, what was your biggest mistake throughout your career?
Oh, excuse me? My biggest mistake? Shit, you can't learn without your mistakes. Like, how can you have you know what I mean? Like, all my mistakes big. I don't make small mistakes. You know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna make a mistake, like, you're gonna see me on my ass. Like, I don't know. I can't, that's a hard question to answer. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe I spent some money in one way when I should have spent it another way and I didn't make that return, but then I learned that I shouldn't have spent the money that way. And so now I know I should spend the money this way so I can make this return. You see what I'm saying? So in entrepreneurship, mistakes are lessons. You know what I'm saying? The only mistakes that are regrettable are mistakes that you can't learn from. Because if you learn from the mistake, then you grew and you became a better person. You know what I'm saying? I think okay, boom, I got one. Right, I'm a blogger. That's what I do, like, that's my title. And so in blogging, like, rappers don't naturally like you. You know what I'm saying? If you're covering them, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so I came in the game, niggas wasn't fucking with me. I didn't have an industry help. I didn't have these relationships, right? And so, you know, I was covering hard, you know what I'm saying? Hard news, but real news. And what I learned was relationships are more important than likes. You know what I'm saying? If I would have known that earlier, I would have been way further ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine how much you can grow with Sauce Walker instead of attacking him. You know what I'm saying? He got an upward trajectory. Imagine, like, the people he can put you in front of instead of the little clout that you getting from those watching you go at them. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I had to learn from experience. You know, I guess that's.
That was a good one, though. Charleston?
Man, your health. You know what I'm saying? You gotta sacrifice your whole health. Are you willing to eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every day? Are you willing to do your body bad, teeth hurting, not going to, you know what I'm saying, putting all your money up, eating bad, losing sleep, you know, emotional distress, psychological distress? All that's a part of the game, man. Just sacrificing your whole health. I'm not talking about just everybody talking about health. They think about their body. But your mind is part of your mental health as well. Like all that gets sacrificed. Everybody in my family gonna call me crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't sacrifice everything to the game. And that's another thing I sacrifice is your whole personal life. You know what I'm saying? Your relationship with your kids. Your relationship with your family, your grandmother. I mean, you just hustling, you're making moves, and all of a sudden, grandma gone, big mama gone, and you've been gone hustling every day, and you just making moves. Next thing you know, you at the funeral, and you like, look at, man, I've been going so hard. I didn't have that time to put in to really just enjoy her while she was here. You know what I'm saying? I've been out here trying to make it happen, trying to make the brand take off, and now grandma gone forever, now I only seeing my dreams. Are you willing to do that? You know what I'm saying? All that's a part of the game. A lot of people who are successful, millionaires and billionaires, they disconnected from their kids. They disconnected from their parents. Their relationships is weak. My first daughter, I ain't gonna lie to you, my oldest daughter, my relationship ain't really, I'm watching another man be in her life and be her stepdaddy and be closer to her than I am. You know what I'm saying? That's real, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I got a successful business, but what was the trade-off for that? You know what I'm saying? I had to sacrifice my relationship with my oldest daughter for that, you know what I'm saying? And that's just the reality of it. Then the next question was, what's the biggest mistake? Man, the biggest mistake was probably like, you're going to learn from everything, you know what I'm saying? Everything happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? All your big mistakes, you got to learn from them. If it's a loss, it's a lesson inside of that. I kind of disagree with my man a little bit when he was saying that he had the job, he was going through this and going through that and working as a busboy, selling weed, doing it. But all that made him the man that he is today. You know what I'm saying? It was all that stuff that he was going through, and a lot of y'all may have a job. It ain't nothing wrong with having a job. Just know that you're working for somebody who is successful. You got to look at the systems and the processes and stuff that they got going on and understand they spend millions of dollars at Walmart or at Verizon to put them, to make that a working business, to make that do what it do. So while you working these jobs and working for these big companies or these small businesses, don't just be focusing on your job and what you learn from that. Look how the meetings are constructed. What the book, the handbook look like. You know what I'm saying? What happens? What time you got to be at work? How do they handle in break time? Take all those notes, because all that's good game that it take them millions of dollars to do that you can get from just people game working there. And you can take that and put it into your business and blast off. So that's just, you know what I'm saying, my little 2 cents on that.
The question is, what was your biggest sacrifice to get to this point, and what was your one of your biggest mistakes?
Well, I want to piggyback off of what you said. I guess the biggest sacrifice is I worked so much. I was considered a workaholic. I used to consider that. I had a lot of pharmacies, consulting services, school, training, and I worked. I didn't even go to sleep. I was my security. You know, I had security guards, cameras, but I would stay up all night watching all my stores. And I worked so hard, raised my kids, away from my kids, and I got diagnosed with cancer. I'm a 2-time cancer survivor. Yes. Yes. And it's because I was stressing and working so hard and not taking care of myself. Stress will kill you. You have to know how to manage that. So that was a sacrifice in my life. When I got to that point, I realized I got to learn how to work a little easier and not so hard, you know. And we can work, but we have to understand we have to make it. It almost have to feel almost effortless, you know. If you're good at something, it's just gonna happen, you know. And you got to trust and have a team. I had a team at that time, but you know, you're like, okay, well, who's doing this, and making sure everybody, you know, you're watching the team. Because you want to make sure no one's taking, because people do take. Especially when I got sick, it became like, okay, she's not watching, you know, people take advantage of you. So if I can say anything, just whatever you do, take your time and understand don't be considered a workaholic. Be careful about that, because I was proud to be a workaholic. No, it will kill you. And I thank God that I'm here, because I've been through a lot. And it's because I worked, and I was always trying to make some money. The biggest mistake, and I'll say this here, and it's two, and I'll say having the right people around you. When I got sick, people started taking advantage of me. Because they know what you have. And your businesses, people will copy your business, duplicate your business, try to take your ideas, and you wonder like, hey, aren't we part of the team? And they doing what you do. Well, you know, you're making too much money. I got to make what you're making. Well, don't we work together? You know. But when I got sick, that's what started happening. They thought, oh, she's gonna get, you know, she was sick. She's not gonna be around that long. But you know, I'm still here. So the thing of who you keep your company with and who you're working with. Everybody is not your friend. Business is business. You have to understand that and keep it business. You know, you don't have to like them. You don't have to do anything, but you know, keep it business. But your friends, you start bringing your friends. Your friends gonna start hanging around when they see you doing stuff, or you think they're your friends, and then you realize they're just around to see what you're doing, to copy what you're doing, and take your money. You understand? So that was the biggest mistake, having the wrong people around. And I guess I do want to say this here, and I want to say this to all entrepreneurs. What I learned when I got sick, I was self-employed. So being self-employed, you have insurance, and you have to pay out of pocket. My first surgery was $1.3 million. I've had, I don't even know how many surgeries, probably 30, 40 surgeries already. They put me back together. But I'm saying I had to take my money I was saving to be retiring off of, to put my life back together. You understand? So that's right there, I thank God I had that. But one thing I wish, because now I'm starting over, when I went through the process, I went to all the banks where they had all my money and everything, and I'm like, I need a loan, you know, I need a loan. They don't care how much money you brought in, you know, in those accounts. I paid cash for a lot. Everything I paid was cash, put it back in my business. I never wanted to have credit cards at that time. I didn't want credit. But today you have to have credit. If you don't build credit, they don't look at you. So get your business credit cards, start off slow. Every month, every 3 months, you can increase that credit line. Because they don't look at cash money. They tell me, your cash money don't mean anything. We want to see some credit. I'm like, but I pay cash. We don't care about that. I'm like, but don't you know, can't you go back and give me a loan? I need a $200,000, $300,000. No. So it hurt me. Because I thought, I grew up thinking that cash was, you know, real. It ain't working. You need some credit. Put your cash up, save it, whatever. It's good for you, but the credit. Build your credit for your business so you can have that on paper, and then you can use it, and then actually you can build from that. That's what they're looking for. So a lot of people are afraid to do that. You have to start small and build. So that's one thing I wish I would have done then, and I would have been saving all my cash, you know. So, but that's what I wish I would have done.
Let's go. All right, so it's a big, what was the biggest risk?
Biggest mistake and biggest sacrifice.
Oh yeah, biggest mistake, biggest sacrifice. All right, so we'll start off with sacrifice. I'll say the biggest sacrifice was time. Yeah. And you may say time, so think about it, all right? You can spend money, you can get it right back, right? Right. You can spend time, but you don't get it back. That's the one thing that at the end of the day, we only got 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week. You know, I wish we had a few more hours, trust me, I do. You know, it's tough. All these entrepreneurs on the stage, I know they can relate. I know everybody out here can relate. I wish we had more time, you know, and And I'll say the biggest mistake. It's a good question because there's so when you go through being a business owner or starting a business or trying to do anything, there's a lot of mistakes. I mean, so I guess if I had to label what is the biggest mistake, I would say putting your trust into I don't know if I'd say the wrong person or putting too much trust into something that hasn't maybe been established yet. And what I mean by that is when you're getting a business going, come on, Teddy Tuesday, that's a business, right? Mm-hmm. You entrust a lot of people around you to make it happen because no successful business comes with just one person. I don't care what business it is. No, there's not one major multi-million-dollar business that's like, hey, I just run it by myself. You got to have a team around you. Yeah. Our business, we did 10.7 million in sales in less than 3 years. I did it from my condo to doing that, and I see how that works. So I got to say that when you do this, guys, don't put your trust all into someone else in the beginning phase, especially in the beginning. You got to do it yourself. You got to lay that foundation. You got to be the one that says, hey, I've been through it. I've done it. Here we go. But we're all still learning, right? We're all still learning. Like, I'm not just saying, like, hey, well, I've learned it. You haven't learned it. That's why you got to have a team around, But when I was just getting going, I thought that others could help me. And I guess it was a form of cutting corners, and it ended up coming, to bite me. But I guess everything turned out all right, But I got to say, there's so many, like Charleston says, sleepless nights, I mean, the grind never stops,
Yeah.
The guy with the nice blazer.
Man, I agree with everybody saying up here. I would say my biggest sacrifice, I'm married, and so this is not my first business. I started my law firm, but before that, I started Classroom Concerts. It's a digital concert series. I was in law school when I started that, and so I wasn't bringing in no bread. I spent a good amount of money to start that business, and that came out of me and my wife savings account. You know what I'm saying? And she an entrepreneur as well, and so it's different when you writing the checks and not getting that check. It's a totally different stress. But and so that was probably my biggest sacrifice, and continuing to do that into this business as well. But my biggest mistake, I would say, is not asking for help sooner. It's a lot of people out there who've already walked that path that you're trying to go down. I know you want to probably go look at Instagram and follow somebody motivational or something, but it's somebody right by you, or that's 2 or 3 phone calls away. And that's something that I had to learn to do, put my pride to the side, because I always was like, man, I don't want to bother nobody. I ain't trying to. But people are really willing to help you if you show that you're really serious about what you're doing. And so, man, that's what I say my biggest mistake is just not asking for help sooner, just asking people, put my pride to the side. Forget it. Let somebody tell me, nah, I don't want to help you. Let somebody tell me no. Letting somebody be like, nah, get it yourself. Or just accepting what somebody do tell me that I don't want to hear. But it's also people that I respect, not just randos, but people that I respect, and they've already done what I'm trying to do. They've walked that path already. So just don't be afraid to ask people for help.
I'm gonna speak on this because I said I was gonna say it. I think my biggest sacrifice is something I've been doing since college, and this is heavy. The biggest sacrifice I've ever made is using myself as an example, and that has drained me tremendously. What do I mean by that? What SFA at? Real Tune from SFA?
SFA
G,
OG.
yeah, Southern. You know what I'm saying? So we used to throw parties back in the day, but that's another conversation. That's from back when I was a hoe. But the point of the matter is, when you have a gift, this is gonna be deep, but when you have a gift, you are the example. So everybody holds on to you, leans on to you, you know what I'm saying? Soon I can go somewhere, and I'm not the most emotional, attachable person. I really don't like to be, you know what I'm saying, outside of Teddy Tuesday. I can be in my office and be just fine, right? But when you have a gift, it's so big and so contagious. When people are around you, they seem to just want to leech on you, right? So I think one of my biggest sacrifices is sacrificing myself to say it can be done. And in that, people watch you, because if you have good leadership, Charleston, I know you understand this, if you have good leadership at the top, what does it happen for the rest of the team? There's always a standard to success. I'll say that again. There's a standard to success. Everybody has their own standard. But over here at Teddy Tuesday, it's to enhance, direct, develop, and inspire. In anything that you do, you got to make it big, which means you got to enhance it. You got to have direction. You got to be willing to take criticism. You got to be willing to say, hey, no, that's not going to work. And say, hey, I took that L. Let me move forward. And then you also got to have direction. You got to develop your craft. Some people don't honor their craft. It's one thing to be popular. It's another to be prosperous. It's one thing to have a lot of likes. You know what I'm saying?
Well, come on.
I'm just saying, sometimes we get caught up in the hype, and some of us are a false advertisement for what we're selling. If I go to some people's homes and I go behind the scenes, you're not really what you say you are. Because if I get you behind the scenes, you want to be able to work when nobody's looking at you. You ought to be able to work at 1, 2, or 3 o'clock in the morning when there's nobody watching, there's nobody looking, you're still working. It's a mental thing. And then if you're really good at what you do, if you're really good, if you want people to buy tickets, if you want people to buy your gear, you're going to inspire them. That's why people like Beyonce and the list goes on and on can sell out a concert, because people gravel at the amazement of something. So I think my biggest sacrifice to all that is me using myself as an example. And it is very overwhelming, very overwhelming. My biggest mistake is I come from an era where females, you don't do this. And my team will tell you this. The first thing when someone comes into Teddy Tuesday, they think it's a male. They'll skip right over me, and that's fine. So you think this big old, because it looks good, the person who's running it is a male. Last time I checked, I own the LLC and everything else that goes along with it. However, that's all good. But my biggest mistake is just learning to. Over here in Teddy Tuesday, we all the same. The gender, you male, it don't matter. You can't outwork me. At the end of the day, you can be male, got muscles, six-pack, but you still can't outwork me. You can't outwork me on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You name it, baby. We can meet up anytime, any place. You cannot outwork me. That's the thing. So, you know what I'm saying? I just want to share that with people, because I think sometimes we think, well, even with females, you know, when they have their different conferences, I'm here to inspire male, female, dog, and cat. I want the female to be the head. I want the male. If you have the gift and the talent, then you need to be the head. It shouldn't matter about your gender. It shouldn't matter about your race, your height, or anything else. If you got it, you got it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I do want to share. But as we get finished.
Hey, let me say one thing. As soon as you get your first taste of success, a lot of things that we do is go get a whip. You know what I'm saying? Go get some big, nice, expensive car. You know what I'm saying? Make your overhead real high. As soon as you get some success, it's real easy to go to the lot, go get you a Range Rover, go get you a Benz, and put that pressure on you where now your overhead monthly is like X amount of dollars a month. When you gotta understand is you can't make no moves if your overhead is high. So understand that it's very easy to go get you a nice luxury car. I know cars symbolize success.
No, they don't.
But they hold you back. First thing I did was I had a vending machine at Watkins grocery store. That's my first vending machine. Then I got another vending machine at Big City on Homestead. And then I made a big play and I opened up a location at Bisbee on OST. The first thing I did is bought myself a Lamborghini and got me a condo at the Mosaic. Biggest mistake of my life. Here I am thinking I'm good, riding around in a Lamb at a condo at the Mosaic. And it wasn't until my kinfolk crashed that Lambo and I no longer had to pay that car note. And when that car note freed up, that's when I finally expanded and opened up my business in California. Because I had the extra money to be able to expand my business. That $3,500 a month I was paying on a Lambo was holding me from moving my business forward and going nationwide. And me losing that Lambo was the best thing that ever happened to me because now we international because of that. Yeah. So just keep that in mind, you know what I'm saying? Try to stay disciplined. It's guns and butter, baby. You know what I'm saying? Know the difference.
Hey, Charleston, now, let me say something real. That's real. And what the doctor said, put those two together because she was talking about credit, business credit. He paying $3,500 a month for a car note, but probably don't have, he said he was able to expand after that. If you can put that money towards credit, you got a credit card, can grow your business with that, and then able to pay that credit back, you growing your credit even more. You're going to walk in the bank, get $1 million loan, and turn your business tenfold because you done played the game right from the beginning instead of trying to go get that Range Rover they told you about on IG because it was how many pounds? 6,000 pounds or something they tell you you got for tax. But nah, man, go put money into your business.
Right.
I got one thing real quick before we get out of here. So we talk about it a lot, and I appreciate all the the feedback we got. So as an artist myself, I'm a stand-up comedian. That's a business in itself. So we talk a lot about like a lot of dark moments. So when you feel like today, I worked 12 hours, went home, kissed my baby, my wife, and I came here, right? When you feel like you spinning your wheels, and you feel like you reach that point of stagnation, and ain't no motion really happening, and you looking at God like, God, what am I doing? I've been at this thing, I've been consistent, I've been following all the rules, but I still ain't broke through that mold yet. What's going on? You feel like you want to give up, you in that dark spot. What pulled you out of that dark spot that helped you keep moving?
Man, you gotta drink water. You gotta get your sleep. You know what I'm saying? You gotta eat fruit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go to the steam room, to the sauna and cleanse. You gotta get off of Instagram and stop watching that pollution. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get prayed up. You know what I'm saying? You gotta cleanse yourself. Cause everything, all the answers, Lauryn Hill said, how you gonna win if you ain't right within? A lot of times when you don't know that right answer, you don't know what to do next, so you feel like that means it's too cloudy. You gotta put that weed down. You gotta stop drinking that alcohol. You gotta be willing to cleanse yourself, sacrifice, you know what I'm saying? All that's very important. You'll never be able to make it to your full potential with all that stuff you put into your body, into your mind, body, and spirit. It's the only way for you to be your best self is for you to cut away those things that's holding you down.
To all the entrepreneurs, we about to wrap it up, but listen real quick. There's a couple things I want to share with you. So I hope you guys listening. One of the first things is understand what's your why. Why do you do what you do? Why do you sell what you sell? Why do you want to be in the business that you're in? You need to think about what's your why. There has to be a why for why you get up every day. The second thing is honor your craft. That means you need to take time to study it, know your demographics, take time to go network. Tonight is one of those nights where you learn. You'd be surprised how many people don't know how to network. They'll come to an event and they'll just stand around. That's not networking. That means go shake some hands, go get their Instagram, go to pop up at an event, go show some support. You know what I'm saying? Honor your craft. Take time to build your brand. And I'm talking about more than a post on social media. You need more than that. Another thing, stay focused on your goals. Do not compare yourself to the person that's on Instagram. Because Instagram, you can be whoever you want to be on Instagram. You'd be surprised what people are when they actually go home. You get what I'm saying? Stay focused on your goals. Next thing, don't get outworked. Some of you guys, it's easy to outwork you because you just, lazy, want to smoke weed too much, want to go out too much. You know what I'm saying? You easy to move out the way. You're not even a competition. You know what I'm saying? And another thing that I've learned with Teddi Tuesday, I do not compete.
Come on.
I do not compete. I dominate. This lane right here, I dominate. Just Charleston, that lane right there, he dominate. I don't do that competing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that don't work. So the last thing is celebrate all your wins. And it's something that I do struggle. There's something I struggle on real bad because I don't celebrate nothing. Until I got that bad. I'm working on that. But celebrate the little wins, the small wins, and the big wins. And I want to, thank all the guests for coming out. So before you guys leave, you need to take a picture. I know, Charles, you got your baby here. We about to let you go. But I want to thank you guys. And do me a favor. We about to get back in the mix, and we got 2 more performers. But I want each and every one of you to stop by a vendor spot. Show some love to all my media outlets that's right here. We got True Tuesday. Hey, listen, I hit you up today. I don't know if you know that was me. But I hit you up today. Personally, because I've been seeing you moving. And Cap, I hit you up too personally. You know what I'm saying? All this media, I appreciate you guys for coming out, because sometimes media don't want to work with other media outlets. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why, but sometimes they don't. So I appreciate you guys coming out and taking time out to visit Teddy Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? Much love. And look at all, they black. Look at that line, they just black. You got women, male, you got all that. Even got you, brother. You know what I'm saying? I like the vest. You know what I'm saying? He doing it. So I appreciate you guys coming out. Listen, next show is June 27th. We got OTB Fast Lane. It's our summer fest. It's going down. But I appreciate, hey, shout out to Happy Boots. I just happened to see that orange hat right there. You know what I'm saying? That chocolate skin. Boots. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Happy Boots. But listen, we about to get back in the mix. Y'all stay right here. We about to take a picture. We got 2 more performances, and I appreciate you guys coming to Teddy Tuesday. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. We're going to get it popping. Thank you so much.